Valentine's Day. A day for love, a day for romance. A day where lovers exchange gifts, share a meal, steal a kiss under the moonlight. But be careful, my friends. For love can quickly turn to obsession, romance to terror, and that stolen kiss, well, it might be your last. Tonight we delve into the dark side of this holiday, a side where Cupid's arrow is tipped with poison. We explore 3 true horror stories, each more unsettling than the last. Keep the lights on, hold your loved ones close, and prepare yourselves, because tonight we face the darkness together. Our first story takes us to the heart of a bustling city, where a young woman named Sarah found herself the target of an unwanted admirer. Valentine's Day started like any other for Sarah. The air was filled with the sweet aroma of flowers from the vendor on the corner, and the sound of traffic was a constant hum in the background. She was heading home after a long day at work, her mind filled with thoughts of a quiet evening, a warm meal, and maybe a good book. Little did she know, someone was watching. It started subtly at first, a lingering glance across the crowded street, a fleeting figure disappearing around the corner just as she turned. At first Sarah dismissed it as her imagination playing tricks, but the feeling persisted, a prickle on the back of her neck, the unnerving sensation of being watched. And she was right. He was always just out of sight, a shadow lurking at the edge of her vision. One evening as she walked home from work, a heart-shaped box of chocolates materialized on her doorstep. There was no card, no name, just a chillingly anonymous gesture that sent shivers down her spine. The chocolates sat untouched on her table, a sweet, sinister reminder that she wasn't alone. Fear, like a cold fist, began to tighten around her heart. Days turned into a blurry torment. Sarah changed her routines, her routes, but it didn't matter. He was always one step ahead, a phantom mirroring her every move. The gifts escalated. A bouquet of blood-red roses, their thorns wickedly sharp, lay on her car windshield. A chillingly beautiful serenade from a hidden violinist echoed in the dead of night. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by a gnawing fear that intensified with each passing hour. The walls of her apartment, once a sanctuary, now felt like a cage, closing in on her. She reported the incidents to the police, but with no concrete evidence, they were powerless to help. Then, on Valentine's Day, as the city celebrated around her, a note arrived, delivered not to her doorstep, but to her purse. It was an invitation, or rather, a command. Meet me at the park where we first met, or else. The threat hung in the air, unspoken but clearly understood. Terror propelled Sarah to the park, a desperate hope flickering within her that this would be the end of her nightmare. Our next tale takes a chilling turn, reminding us that sometimes the people we think we know harbor the darkest secrets. It was Valentine's Day, and Michael, a charming young man with an easy smile and a twinkle in his eye, was looking forward to a romantic evening with his new girlfriend, Emily. They had met a few months prior at a local bookstore, their shared love for classic literature sparking an instant connection. Emily was everything Michael had ever wanted, intelligent, beautiful, and with a laugh that could light up a room. He was smitten, and as he got ready for their date, carefully choosing a bouquet of her favorite lilies, he couldn't shake off the feeling that he had finally found the one. The evening started off perfectly. A candlelit dinner at a cozy Italian restaurant filled with laughter, shared stories, and stolen glances. Michael watched, mesmerized, as Emily's eyes sparkled in the dim light, her smile radiant. He felt like he was living in a dream. After dinner, they decided to take a stroll through the park, their hands brushing as they walked, the silence comfortable and companionable. It was the perfect date, or so Michael thought. As they reached a secluded part of the park, shrouded in shadows, Michael leaned in for a kiss. But Emily pulled back, her smile replaced by a look of unease. "I'm sorry, Michael," she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. "I can't do this anymore." Before Michael could respond, a figure emerged from the darkness, tall and imposing, his features obscured by the shadows. "Emily!" the figure growled, his voice deep and menacing. "It's time to go." Emily didn't protest. didn't even look back as she followed the figure into the darkness, leaving Michael standing alone, his heart pounding in his chest. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but Michael heard nothing from Emily. She had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a void in Michael's life and a chilling mystery in her wake. Desperate for answers, Michael retraced their steps, searching for any clue that could lead him to Emily. He visited her apartment only to find it empty, her belongings gone. He contacted her friends, her family, but no one had heard from her. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. As Michael delved deeper into Emily's life, he began to uncover unsettling truths. Her friends described her as secretive, often disappearing for days without explanation. Her family hadn't heard from her in years, their relationship strained and distant. One evening, while going through Emily's things, Michael found a small, worn-out diary tucked away in a drawer. Hope surged through him. Maybe, just maybe, this diary held the answers he so desperately craved. With trembling hands he opened it, his eyes scanning the faded ink. The diary's entries were cryptic, filled with vague references to a shadowy figure and a debt that needed to be repaid. Our final story takes us to a secluded hotel, a place where love and terror intertwine. John and Lisa decided to celebrate their anniversary at a charming, albeit slightly run-down hotel. The hotel had a rich history, but whispers of strange occurrences surrounded it. Lisa, intrigued by the paranormal, felt a tingle of excitement. As they drove up, a sense of foreboding washed over Lisa. The hotel, bathed in moonlight, looked more imposing than welcoming. John, eager to start their getaway, was already unpacking the car. Inside, the air grew heavy with unseen eyes and unspoken secrets. The lobby, dimly lit and filled with antique furniture, absorbed sound. The gaunt receptionist's vacant stare sent a shiver down Lisa's spine. Their room was spacious but strangely cold despite the roaring fire. A musty odor permeated the air, a scent of decay and forgotten memories. Lisa couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. That night, soft knocks came from the wall behind them. John dismissed it as the pipes, but Lisa felt dread. The knocking grew insistent, accompanied by faint child's laughter. Lisa clung to John, trembling, imagining unseen entities. As dawn broke, they were exhausted and tense. They decided to cut their trip short. At checkout, Lisa noticed a small, framed photograph. It was a picture of a young couple, their faces etched with sadness. "Who are they?" Lisa asked the receptionist, her voice barely a whisper. So there you have it. 3 tales of love gone wrong, of romance twisted into terror. Stories that remind us that even on a day dedicated to love, darkness can lurk around every corner. As you celebrate with your loved ones, remember these chilling tales. Remember Sarah, Michael, and the couple at the haunted hotel. Their stories a stark reminder that not everyone who says "be mine" has good intentions. This Valentine's Day, cherish the love you have, but always be cautious, always be aware. You never know what lurks in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Stay safe, my friends, and remember, sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones disguised as lovers. Sweet dreams, or should I say, nightmares.